So just as we are all picking ourselves up off the floor after that devastating blow to Justin Baldoni's case yesterday, Bryan Freedman comes out with a response, and it just gives us all a ray of hope. And also, he's also pointing out that Blake Lively's victory lap might be a little premature. So today I want to break down what he has to say, what are the amendments that he can make before June 23rd, and what is Blake Lively up to during her victory lap, and what is she up to, and what does she have to say about it? So stick with me. I'm going to break this down. So the first thing I want to talk about is his response. And so Mrs. Lively and her team's predictable declaration of victory is false. So let us be clear about the latest ruling. Baldoni's lawyer, Bryan Freedman, said in a statement to Variety, while the court dismissed the defamation-related claims, the court has invited us to amend 4 of the 7 claims against Mrs. Lively, which will showcase additional evidence and refined allegations. This case is about false allegations of sexual harassment and retaliation, a non-existent smear campaign, which Ms. Lively's own team conveniently described as untraceable because they cannot prove it ever happened. So yeah, he's again, he has those 4 amendments that he can make, which I think is pretty profound, that he still has a chance. And what I'm very happy about is that they're still going balls to the wall, going to do it and not backing off any little bit. So he also said, most importantly, Mrs. Lively's own claims are no truer today than they were yesterday. And with the facts on our side, we marched forward with the same confidence that we had when Mrs. Lively and her cohorts initiated this battle, and look forward to her forthcoming deposition, which I will be taking, which I thought that was great because she made a point of saying that she did not want Bryan Freedman to be the one taking her deposition. So he is 100% going to be there. And that was another sense of entitlement that she had, like, oh, she can choose who can do her deposition. She can't choose who does her deposition. And for the fact that she even can say that is just, or even ask it, it's just ridiculous. We are grateful for the organic show of support from the public and for the dedication of Internet sleuths community who continue to cover the case with discernment and integrity, which I cannot believe. I think it's just it's the year 2025. There's so much you can find on the internet right now that I'm sure Justin Baldoni is thankful as well, but all those internet sleuths out there, they don't miss a beat. They don't miss anything, and they dissect things down to like the nth degree. So I think that's been very interesting through this whole case. And one important thing I want to mention is someone had mentioned to me something about, like it's really hard to prove a defamation case. And that's one of the reasons that Johnny Depp did his case in Virginia, because they have looser laws there. So I'm not sure if it was just a power play for Bryan Freedman, but what this case did was it just exposed so much. So I really, truly believe that Bryan Freedman is playing the court of public opinion, very much so, just as much as he's playing it in court. I don't think it was about the $400 million. I think it was about Justin Baldoni's reputation and showing that she is a scam. And I think that he's been 100% successful in that. So I think the public court of opinion is way more important, especially going forward, than it ever would be in the court. So his lawyers, again, see this as a victory. This is from Blake Lively's lawyers. As we said from day one, this $400 million lawsuit was a sham, and the court saw right through it. Lively's lawyers said on June 9th, after the dismissal, we look forward to the next round, which is seeking attorney's fees, treble damages, and punitive damages against Baldoni and the other Wayfarer parties who perpetrated this abusive litigation. Again, gaslighting. What's funny is that they've already received a huge blow, having to withdraw a lot of their part of their lawsuit that was dismissed because she doesn't want to give up her records, her medical records, showing that she did have any kind of distress. So her case has essentially been wiped out pretty much. And now his case is getting wiped out. So it'll be really interesting to see where this goes. But like I said, I think the court of public opinion has definitely spoken. But again, she was out, and the other night, I guess it was last night, here she is this is her doing her victory lap. She does not care. She is out and about and wants the world to see that she's you know, she's out there and doing it. Her statement was, like so many others, I felt the pain of retaliatory lawsuit, including the manufactured shame that tries to break us. Well, the suit against me was defeated, so many don't have the resources to fight back. I'm more resolved than ever to continue to stand for every woman's rights to have a voice and protecting themselves, including their safety, their integrity, and the dignity of their story. Well, as a woman, I just like, I think that what she's done is taken the whole Me Too movement and went back like 10 steps. You can't lie. You have to have a significant complaint. And when you lie and try to throw one over on us because you're a petulant child that didn't get your way, is not any help for women. Like if she's saying the most that where she felt the height of her, you know, the sexual harassment was during that dancing scene. Like, are you serious? I did 2 videos about this, about how it's complete bullshit. She has no idea what the level of harassment can be to justify this kind of a response. But that level that we saw all in that film was just not it. And again, I go back to the reason that this is even happening is because she had a crush on Justin Baldoni. It came out very clear in that video. Her husband saw it. He freaked out. She had to do something to put it back all together to make sure everything's copacetic with her husband. And then she created this lawsuit and said, no, it wasn't me having a crush on him. It was actually him that was making harassments towards me, which I call 100% bullshit. I'll link that video again at the end of this one so you guys can see 100% that I broke down the whole entire video. She is 100% full of shit. That's just my opinion. And again, she's not showing any kind of problems. This picture was taken at that event. She was at the Chanel's Tribeca Artist Festival dinner, and I guess they took some shots while they were there. So that is her feeling the repercussions of her harassment that she's been going through because she's having such a hard time enjoying her festival. She also, like I said, they seem to be motoring on like nothing's ever happened, which I can't believe. You know, she also, Ryan Reynolds posted this picture that she took of him. Everything's hunky-dory. Everything's great. I don't know. They just acting like there's nothing going on. Like I said, I think, you know, just my guesstimate, but I'm thinking over 90% of the population is team Justin Baldoni. And I've mentioned this on somebody else's post before. It's like the only way that we can show them how much that we are against them and pro Justin Baldoni and see this as completely unacceptable is to stop buying their products, stop going to their movies, stop having anything to do with them. I would never buy any of her hair care, her alcohol, anything from her, nor do I ever want to see another one of her movies. And same with Ryan Reynolds. I think he's just as much to blame for this. And I think he sees what we all see, but he's going to believe his wife's narrative. And so, and any other claims that she's going to say, I guess he has to back her. But I say shame on him too. I just think I'm Canadian. I love to support Canadians, especially in the US, working, doing their thing. But I am just like, no, I call bullshit on that 100%. And so at the end here, I just wanted to talk about this. So in his ruling, Monday, the judge held that Baldoni can file an amended complaint on the allegations of torturous interference with contract. And that means like, so the contract that he had with Wayfair, or she had with Wayfair, they really screwed up the scheduling. They said that she was sick, that she had to cancel like certain dates, and it just cost them so much more money because she wasn't keeping to the dates set. And I think one of them was like, they found out one time she was sick and they kind of cross-referenced to her being on the set of Deadpool when the time that she said she was supposed to be sick, which delays their production and just costs them money. So I think they have something to go on there. And relating to Reynolds and Lively and breach of implied covenant relating to Lively. So they have till June 23rd to amend these complaints. But I'm just happy for Justin Baldoni that he still got some kind of end of the road to keep going. I'm glad that Bryan Freedman is all there, and he just seems to go balls to the wall. He's a balls to the wall kind of guy, and that's the kind of guy Justin Baldoni needs in his court. And what I think should happen is that I think they should all just drop their lawsuits. His is kind of got gutted out. Hers has been gutted out. There's just like a remnants of each side that they're still fighting for. I think if they both just drop their swords right now and call a truce, I think everybody would be happy. I think it's best for all of them. But I think the problem, and Bryan Freedman has said this before, Justin Baldoni wants her to apologize. I think he wants that stigma of him being a harasser or doing anything detrimental to women, because he's been pretty much an advocate for women and, standing up for women in his past. I think that, and that's one of the reasons that he wanted to do this movie in the first place. I think that what he needs from her is an apology and just an acknowledgement that he's not this big abuser, harasser that she's making him out to be. I think that's all that he really needs. I think if he got the apology and they dropped the lawsuit, and I think personally, I think that's the right thing for Blake Lively to do. And I think that's the only thing that can salvage her right now, is to just fall on her sword. But I just don't think she's going to do that. I think she's just too entitled, too headstrong to just admit defeat. And especially now, I think she has a false sense of victory. And this victory lap that she's doing, no one believes it. I think it's just all false. It's just a persona that she's putting out there like, I won, but she really didn't. I like that Bryan Freedman came out and said, yeah, your victory lap was a little too soon. Let's not start the confetti just yet. So anyways, love to know your guys' thoughts. Please like, subscribe, share. Like I said, it will be very interesting to see what goes from here. Let me know if you think that what should Justin Baldoni at this time do? Should he just drop the rest of the claims? Should he just keep moving on with his life? It's unfortunate. I think that she's so she's just going after him so hard that he can't stop, because she's coming after him so aggressively, and it is a lie. So I understand why he has to keep going. But at the end of the day, my opinion is she needs to fall on her sword, apologize, or not even just apologize, just drop it. They just need to drop it and move on. And I think the world will forget about all this. I don't think they'll forget about her being manipulative, but I think that they'll both be able to move on, and Justin Baldoni, this will be just something in the past. And I hope all of those 90% that are Team Baldoni are going to show up next time he does a movie, or as a big supporter of him, because I certainly will be. I think he looks like a great guy, certainly good looking enough. So I'll be in his next movie, that's for sure. So again, let me know your thoughts. Please like, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to you guys soon.